Hi everyone! Are you ready for a sleepy adventure? Tonight, we are going on a journey with a very busy worker bee named Barnaby. He is on a quest for something magical and wonderful in a meadow filled with soft colors. So wiggle your toes, settle deep into your blankets, and close your eyes. Let's begin. Barnaby is a tiny bee with fuzzy stripes and wings that move so fast they make a gentle, rhythmic hum. All day long, Barnaby has been flying through the tall green grass. It is a big job for a little bee, but it is the most important job in the world. He is a collector of golden pixie dust. You see, inside every flower is a sprinkle of this shimmering yellow dust called pollen. When Barnaby lands on a bright pink rose, he does two things. First, he sips a little bit of sweet nectar. That is the sugary fuel that gives him the energy to keep his wings buzzing. Then, he gathers the golden pollen. He uses his tiny legs to brush the dust into little specialized pockets on his hind legs, which are called pollen baskets. He is packing his golden saddlebags to take home to his family. But Barnaby isn't just keeping the dust for himself. As he flies from the rose to a bluebell, and from the bluebell to a poppy, some of that golden dust falls off his fuzzy body and lands in the heart of the new flower. This is called pollination. It is a special gift that bees give to the meadow. Without Barnaby's golden dust, the flowers wouldn't be able to make seeds or grow new baby flowers for next spring. The sun is beginning to dip low in the sky now, painting the clouds in shades of lavender and peach. The meadow is starting to feel very quiet. Barnaby's wings are feeling a little bit heavy. His hum is slowing down, turning into a low, sleepy drone. He visits one last flower, a gentle white lily. As he lands, he feels the soft velvet of the petals. He leaves a few more grains of golden dust behind, helping the lily prepare for its long sleep. As the cool evening air settles over the grass, the lily begins to slowly fold its petals inward, like a tiny blanket tucking itself in for the night. Barnaby takes flight one last time. He isn't rushing anymore. He is drifting on the evening breeze, smelling the damp earth and the closing flowers. He flies back toward his cozy hive, where it is warm and safe. He crawls inside and finds his spot among his sisters and brothers. Before he rests, he performs a little waggle dance, wiggling his body to tell the other bees exactly where he found the best flowers today. It is his way of sharing the magic of the meadow before the day ends. The hive is filled with the softest, quietest vibrations. Barnaby feels the last of the golden dust tucked away, a reminder of the beautiful work he did today. He helped the meadow grow. He helped the flowers breathe. The stars are starting to blink open in the dark velvet sky. The moon is watching over the hive. Barnaby closes his eyes, lets his wings go still, and falls into a deep golden dream. The meadow is sleeping, the flowers are tucked away, and you are safe and warm in your bed. Everything is quiet. Everything is still. Good night.
Sheldon's Shimmering Road, learning about nature's armor.
Hi everyone! Take a deep, slow breath and imagine a garden at twilight. The air is cool and smells like damp earth and fresh rain. The sun has gone down, and the moon is beginning to glow like a soft pearl in the sky. It is the perfect time for a very quiet journey with a very quiet friend. His name is Sheldon. Sheldon is a land snail, and he moves at his very own pace. He does not rush, and he does not worry. He knows that everything happens in its own time. Sheldon carries his whole world on his back. He has a beautiful, spiraled shell that is hard and strong. This shell is Sheldon's home and his armor. During the day, when the sun is too bright and the air is too dry, Sheldon simply tucks his soft body inside. He stays cool and moist in his limestone house, listening to the birds sing until the evening shadows grow long. Now, as the stars begin to wake up, it is Sheldon's turn to explore. As Sheldon begins to move across a patch of velvety green moss, he does something very special. Because his body is soft and delicate, he needs to stay moist to travel safely. To help him glide, Sheldon creates a shimmering, silky path of silver mist beneath him. This is his very own magic road. This silver path acts like a cushion. It is so smooth and slippery that Sheldon can crawl over a rough twig, a sharp pebble, or even a fallen leaf without feeling a single bump. It protects his skin and keeps him hydrated as he wanders through the shadows. Imagine him moving now, slowly, steadily, slide and glide, slide and glide. Behind him, the moon catches the light of his trail, leaving a glowing map of everywhere he has been. It is a silver ribbon stretching across the dark garden floor. Sheldon reaches a tall, broad leaf. He feels the coolness of the leaf against his tiny tentacles. These tentacles are very important. They help him feel the world around him and find the freshest spots in the garden. He is not looking for a race. He is looking for a snack and a peaceful place to rest. He nibbles a tiny bit of a fallen clover, tasting the sweetness of the dew. The garden is getting sleepier now. The crickets are chirping a slow, steady rhythm. It is like a heartbeat for the night. The wind is just a whisper through the flower petals, making them dance ever so slightly. Sheldon feels the weight of his beautiful shell. It is a heavy, comforting weight, like a warm blanket. He has traveled a long way across the moss today. He is ready for a long, deep rest. He finds a cozy, dark spot underneath a big green leaf where the morning dew will stay the longest and the air will stay the coolest. He begins to pull his head back into his shell, one tentacle, then the other. He folds himself into a perfect snug circle. He pulls his soft body away from the world and into the heart of his spiral home. He is keeping all the moisture and all the warmth inside where it belongs. On the outside, Sheldon looks like a small, still stone resting on the earth. But on the inside, he is safe. He is tucked away. He is drifting into a slow-motion dream. The silver path he left behind is fading into the moonlight, turning into a memory of his journey. The garden is still. The moss is soft. The earth is quiet. And just like Sheldon, you are safe in your own cozy space. You have your own warm blankets. You have your own quiet room. You can let go of the day, just like Sheldon let go of his silver path. Listen to the quiet. Feel the coolness of the night air. Let your breath be slow and steady. Slide and glide into your dreams. Good night.
The Little Navigator. How Ants Use Math to Find Home. Once upon a time, in a big, grassy backyard, there was a busy home. But this wasn't a home for people. It was a home for tiny, hard-working ants. This place was called the Great Anthill. Deep inside, where it was warm and safe, lived a small orange ant named Pippa. Pippa was a forager ant. This meant her very important job was to leave the safety of the nest and go find delicious crumbs to bring back for her friends. Tonight, the great anthill was settling down. The last of the sunlight was fading from the sky, and the backyard was turning a soft, sleepy shade of blue. All the ants were beginning to rest. All except Pippa. Pippa was safe in her little room, but her mind was wide awake. You see, today, Pippa had gone on the farthest adventure she had ever taken, and on that adventure she learned the biggest secret of the ants. Pippa had learned how to find her way home. If you would like to, you can snuggle under your covers now, just like Pippa was snuggling under the soft, dry leaves in her nest. Take a deep breath in and let it all the way out. Very, very slow. You might wonder how a tiny ant, no bigger than a grain of rice, finds her way back to the exact right spot every single time. It seems like magic. Today, Pippa decided to go past the tall jungle of clover, past the giant sleepy rock, all the way to a magical land she had heard of, the patio. Pippa didn't look at the sky or a map. She had something much more special. When Pippa took her first step outside the nest, scritch, scratch, she started something amazing. She started counting. Imagine you are walking down the sidewalk. Every time your foot hits the ground, you count. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is what ants do. Scientists call it an internal pedometer. An internal pedometer is like a tiny built-in counter that lives inside an ant's brain. It does not use batteries and it never forgets a number. So, as Pippa walked, scritch, scratch, her little pedometer went 501, 502, 503. The backyard was full of amazing sights. Pippa saw a beetle with a shell that shone like a small, green jewel. She saw the fuzzy legs of a sleeping bumblebee nestled deep inside a purple flower. But Pippa did not stop. Her little legs kept moving. Scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch. Her pedometer kept working. 1,000, 1,001, 1,002. She was very far from home now. Everything around her was new. The leaves were a different color. The wind smelled different. If you or I were that far away from home, we might feel lost. But not Pippa. She knew exactly how many steps she was from the great anthill. Finally, Pippa made it to the patio, and there, near a giant, cool water bowl, she found it, the ultimate treasure, a tiny, sugary piece of donut crumble. It was almost as big as she was. With all her strength, Pippa lifted the sweet crumble and turned around. It was time to go home. The sky was getting dark. Now, you might think Pippa would look for the giant, sleepy rock to know which way to go. But remember, the backyard is huge to a tiny ant. Sometimes big rocks look different from the other side, and trails are hard to see when the sun goes down. But Pippa did not need to see her way home. She had her magic numbers. As Pippa walked back towards her nest, she was not counting up anymore. This is the amazing trick. As she took her first step home, scritch, scratch, her internal pedometer looked at its big number and started to count backward. Imagine your pedometer said 1,000. When you take one step home, the number does not go to 1001. It goes down. It goes to 999. That is what Pippa's pedometer did. 998, 997, 996. Every step she took towards home made the number smaller and smaller. Pippa knew she was not lost. She knew that as long as she kept walking, the magic number would eventually get all the way down to 0. And 0 is exactly where the front door of her nest was. Pippa carried her heavy donut crumble through the clover jungle. It was hard work, but her pedometer kept her safe. 500, 499. She passed the giant, sleepy rock. 300, 200. The air smelled familiar now. The grass felt like her grass. 100, 99, 98. Pippa could see the glow of the lights inside the great anthill. She was so close. Her little legs were tired. Your legs might feel a little tired and heavy right now, too. It is a good kind of tired. It means it is time to rest. Pippa arrived at the front entrance. Her tiny feet came to a stop. She took her very last scritch, scratch. She checked her internal pedometer one last time. It did not say 500. It did not say 2. The number in her brain was 0. She was home. She was safe. Pippa went deep inside the nest, past the other sleepy ants, and set down her delicious donut crumble for her friends to find tomorrow. Then she crawled into her warm, soft bed of leaves. She wiggled her little antennae and curled up. Her adventure was over. Her amazing secret pedometer was done for the day. She closed her tiny eyes. The backyard was quiet. Everything was safe. Pippa took one last, slow breath, and she fell fast asleep. Good night, Pippa. Good night. How do fireflies glow without a plug? Close your eyes and take a deep, slow breath. Imagine the sun has just tucked itself behind the hills, leaving the world in a soft purple glow. The air is cool, the grass is dewy, and the stars are starting to peek out from the velvet sky. But down here on Earth, in the tall grass near the edge of the woods, there are other stars, tiny dancing stars that blink on and off. You might know them as lightning bugs or fireflies. Have you ever wondered how they do that? They don't have tiny batteries, and they certainly don't have a long extension cord plugged into a wall. They carry their very own magic lanterns
right inside their bodies. Inside a firefly's tail, there is a special place, kind of like a tiny microscopic kitchen. In this kitchen, the firefly mixes together two very special ingredients. One is called luciferin, and the other is an enzyme called luciferase. Now, these two ingredients are perfectly safe and quiet on their own. But when the firefly is ready to glow, it lets a little bit of oxygen, the same air we breathe, into that tiny kitchen. When the oxygen hits those ingredients, zip, a tiny chemical reaction happens. It's like a microscopic firework that creates light instead of heat. If you touch a light bulb in your house, it's usually very hot, right? That's because bulbs waste a lot of energy making heat. But a firefly is much smarter. A firefly's light is called cold light. They are so good at making energy that almost 100% of it goes into the glow and none of it goes into heat. If a firefly got hot when it glowed, it wouldn't be very comfortable. Because they stay cool, they can blink all night long without ever breaking a sweat. You might see one firefly blink high up in a tree, and then another one blinks back from the bushes. It's not just for decoration. This is how fireflies talk to each other. Each type of firefly has its own secret code. Some blink twice quickly, some do a long, slow glow. It's their way of saying, "Hello, I'm over here," or "I'm a friend." It's a silent, glowing conversation happening right in your backyard. As the night gets deeper and the crickets get quieter, the fireflies begin to slow down their dancing. Their tiny chemical kitchens start to close up for the night. One by one, the yellow-green lights fade away into the shadows of the leaves. The world is still. The trees are resting. And just like the fireflies, it's time for you to turn off your own bright thoughts. Think of that soft, cool yellow glow one last time. It doesn't need a plug, and it doesn't need a switch. It's just nature's way of saying good night. Sleep tight, little scientist.